Say, man, you're in a privileged position right now. You're in a place to be.
With TKB, the Bushleague Sports Friends Fantasy Show.
When are we making them beats again?
Trenches. Come get some work on your free time. Nico Trenches, we train O-line and D-line. Getting sacks on quarterbacks, you know we live. When you kick at 45, keep your nose on his inside. You better punch something, keep your feet moving, dog. My 3 tech and 1 tech, they some real hoes. My DN 6'5", he ain't got no flaws. Good grades, good feet, man, he got it all. I said it crazy, he'll snatch something. Real aggressive jump set, he tryna grab something. If the O don't shoot their hands, you better jab some. You better stab some, bull then snatch some. From the youth to the pros, we get it in. If you ain't watching film, you ain't trying to win. If you close the beat gap, then you gotta spin. If you get around the edge, then you gotta bend. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at.
When are we making them beats
I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. D tackle, do your dance. D ends, do your dance. Centers, do your dance. Guards, do your dance. Tackle, do your dance. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at.
We're going to do it a little different this week. Bush Leaguers, hang on for another 2 minutes. It's almost snowboard season. We're going to play an old snowboard video. The co-host is running a little late. We got a few things to dial in. I'll be with you in a minute, baby. Let's go.
This time of year, and nobody knows what to do with the heat. Under sunshine pylons we'll meet while rain is falling like rhinestones from the sky. Of rock, seasons, the adjustments, signs of change. I can't see now, she said taxi. Now that light is all I can take. This storm brings strange loyalties and skies. I'm a scary gargoyle on a tower that you made with plastic power. Your rhinestone eyes are like factories far away. Fly over the beach, same time every day, same routine. A clear target in summer when skies are blue. It's part of the noise when winter comes. It reverberates in my lungs. Nature's corrupted in factories far away. Your love's like rhinestones falling from the sky.
All right, everybody, welcome. I don't know why the lighting is looking like it is. We'll have to solve that in a second, but we're firing up just in time for myself and my beautiful co-host to roll in here. So he's not even running behind at all, but I really have no clue what's going on with the lighting here. We're going to have to solve that in a second, but I'm going to bring the man up to walk me through it. But it is week 7, episode 6. I'm stoked to be here, stoked to get into it. And we're just going to be able to fire right up where we were. What's going on, buddy? I don't know why this lighting is so horrible. You see that?
Dude, it's really bringing out that stash, man. You're looking very rather dashing on this beautiful Thursday night, man. Everything is good. Is this what makes it zone in? Oh, just wait.
Weird. Hey. Okay. Well, whatever. We're having some technicals. We'll figure it out as we go. But the lighting
is that a Jägermeister sign behind you?
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Alien friends hiding out, chilling in there. But
there you go.
Nonetheless, obviously, you were running a little behind on dad duty. So was I. My little girl's tucked into bed. I know you had an exciting little volleyball thing going on, and I'm just stoked to get into it. Stoked to see what's going on here in week 6, 7. Don't even have the TV on rolling yet. I just clustered and rolled on in. We did a little different this time. I knew we'd be behind. I just figured out the other day I could share some videos. So I was rolling an old snowboard video I made once upon a time, and here we are. I'm stoked to get into it. I figured you in the sassy community would appreciate a little shred anyway.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Loved the video too. It was nice, man. The music behind it was a good little cut. You put that together?
Yeah, I made that like 3-4 years ago or something like that. It's just
love
a video.
It, dude. Love it.
Video for me and some of the boys out in Fernie one weekend. There's a couple of us I put together. I don't know if we're gonna get canceled for that though. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I should have re-edited it with some of the music we own, but we'll see. We'll see if we get taken down or not. I'm gonna try a quick swap here. If you want to tell us how your day was going, I'm gonna see if this camera will straighten out if I do a little switch here.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Things have been great. I came back from Arizona. I was in Arizona this weekend, flew out to Arizona on Friday. We had the space Thursday. I don't know if you remember, but my wife had already gone to Arizona, to Phoenix, to Scottsdale, actually, for a friend's 40th birthday. We're getting old. We're getting up there.
I hear you.
So we got out there. She got out there Thursday. It was me and the kids on Thursday night. We did the Friends Fantasy Show, got a little wild with our picks, had some fun. And then I got out there on Friday evening, and it was a great trip, man. Scottsdale is beautiful. Phoenix is beautiful. Great little town. It was the first town I've been to where they have purely remote driving cars. And these cars got sensors on them all around. Nobody's in them. I think they're like Ubers. It was really cool to see. The first time I saw one, man, it went driving by and I didn't see anybody in the front seat, but there's clearly a driver's seat there, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm in the Uber, I'm leaning over, it wasn't working out, but it was a great trip. Weather was perfect. I don't know if this time of year is where it's at in Scottsdale, where it's at in Arizona, but the weather was great. Great trip. Ended up meeting a couple of my friends from Shredding Sassy out there. I met 2 Sassies while I was on the trip. So a great experience overall.
Good to be connected with some of the community and just taking it all in and everything, right?
Yeah, I had drinks with one, and then I had breakfast with another. It was perfect. In this world where we're talking to everybody on Twitter and on Discord and in Web3, meeting in person's where it's at, and I think that's where we continue to want to be. The digital world's fun, but IRL, as they like to say, in real life is much better. So, dude, and you and I, we've never met in person. So hopefully we can make that happen here, maybe before the end of the year, if not early next year.
Yeah, we'll see what comes down in December. If, we'll see if the local weather cases show up at your place. I'll definitely have to be coming down and getting some out of the house before they fill up that whole room of yours there for a while. So I think they'll be shipping them out your way. They should be coming soon. But I'm definitely considering coming down in December. We'll see how it goes here. We'll chat in the next little bit. But do you want to get right into it, or what do you want to get into?
I have a question. Do I have enough room behind me here for all those local weather cases? Do you think I can stack them up? How high will they go?
I don't know. I think you got 25 coming your way, I think is what it is. So I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 20. I think it's 20. I don't know. What's that thing going to hold? It's going to probably go 4 or 5 wide. So depending 4 or 5 wide behind that desk behind you, then you're probably 4 or 5 tall. You know what I mean? To get 20. Yeah. So you're probably I think it's a full wall. I think it's a wall of cases. I'll be interesting to see if the cases are bright and colorful like the cans are, or if there's just a brown box with the or what. But if it's a nice bright thing, you'll have a nice cool, backdrop.
Little backdrop there, dude. I like my backdrop now, but I definitely need to get some local weather back there. Have I ever showed you my Alien Friends deck that I have?
No, I know you haven't. I've always admired the sassy one in the background. But
give me a sec, all right? We're gonna shout out the Alien Friends here for a sec.
I like it. We got the friends in the background. They're chilling. But so I guess pretty quick we'll we'll have to get into some of the Friends Fantasy League too, and how that's all going, and kind of show everybody what's happening over there. But let's see this deck. Let's see what you got going on, and then after that, I think we'll get into some picks and a few other things.
Yeah,
beautiful, love it. Oh, I remember seeing those when they had them like the option up to get them. I think they were. I can't remember how
I had a buddy do this for me. A graphic designer out of the Washington area. Kaiser is his name. He's a Shredding Sassy holder. Great dude. Designed the Sassy deck for me, whatever side it's on. Designed this one for me. Board pushed it out through Board Pusher. It was great. Real easy process. I want him to do a no sleep one for me that has like the no symbol and then sleep all the way down. So we'll see how it goes. He's a great dude. Real easy to work with. So we'll definitely have to give him a shout out. Kaiser, if you ever need a board done, custom board, hit him up. He's a beast.
Nice. I like it. No, I remember seeing him on social media rolling around, and he was making some for a few people, I think. And I didn't realize one of them was in your hands. That's pretty cool.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
What do you want to dive into? On getting into picks? You want to go over where we're at in the league? What do you want to dive into?
Well, I really think we need to recap week 6 because week 6 was a pivotal week for us. We pushed week 5. So I lost week 4, did my 25 push-ups. We pushed week 5. So week 6, I mean, are we going to say week 6 is 50? Because I think that's how we did it initially. But
yeah, I keep getting the 50 end of the stick, but way she goes.
I didn't want to say it. You could say it. So how we finished out, looking over at my scores. So in week 6, I finished 11-4, and you finished 9-6. Not our best week, but still, we're above 500. We're well above 500.
It puts you, I guess, one win ahead too overall for the season. I think.
Yeah.
Up, so now you got 2 back. So we definitely got to go through that. But no, I definitely, last time I ended up having to do 50 where she went, but it was tight. I know which ones did we differentiate on a little bit. What games were we off on last week?
Oh man, throwing me for a loop here. Let me look.
I love it. The boys are scrabbling.
Let me pull out my notes here. Was that me? My door shut. My wife heard me. So it looks like our differentiating games this week were I picked Saints, you picked Houston, you took that one. I picked Washington, you picked Atlanta. Commanders took that one. I picked the Jags, you took the Colts. The Jags are looking good tonight too.
They're buzzing right now, right? They're up about 15 points in the third here, I think.
Yeah, they're up 24-9.
Etienne's been he's been really good for him this year, but yeah, the Texans over the Saints. I thought maybe the Saints would be able to get it done after their big win the week before, but who knows?
Absolutely. And then looking at the last 2, I took the Cowboys, you took the Chargers. Cowboys got that game. And then I took the Cardinals, you took the Rams, and the Rams brought that home. Dobbs, terrible call. Don't listen to anything I say on here. Dobbs rough week. But it's all good. It's all good. I still got the W. How'd you do this week in your fantasy leagues? Let's say I know you're in 8, your favorite ones. How'd you do?
I mean, I guess they're all my favorite, right? I like them all. I'm a big fan of all leagues I'm in, but I think I took a loss and a win in like the dynasty and keeper leagues we're in with the Bush League. And then with some of the other leagues, I'm not doing that well this year. I'm probably like sitting 500 between a lot of leagues. Like there's some leagues I'm literally like 4 and 8, and for people that don't know, like we run the league median, right? So you can get 2 wins per week in the league, which is just something that kind of helps even out the fantasy scoring. But I would say I'm only about 500 this year. I'm probably like 50-50. So many injuries. I got one team's got like 7 guys that are out, right? Montgomery's out, Gibbs is out, Richardson's out, and may as well drop him because he's out for the season, it sounded like. And just
Richardson is?
Anthony Richardson, yeah,
he is. Oh, okay.
For, season-ending surgery. They were chatting about it, and it sounds like he'll be doing that. So the Colts will be down him. Gardner Minshew will be probably playing most of the rest of the way unless he gets it. Oh, Gardner Minshew, let's go, baby! Shows got the mustache, man. Got my little grease going too, baby. But no, I mean, I lost fair and square. I'm down a couple, but I don't know. We doing the push-ups now? We doing them later? What do we got?
I don't know. You tell me. We got a packed agenda for this space today. This space, man. I got to get used to not being in spaces. Now we're live streaming, baby. This is a podcast. This is a live stream podcast. Is that what it's called? I don't even know what it's called. I'm just making stuff up. I have no idea what I'm talking about here.
I like it.
Your call.
Don't matter. We can get into the picks for this week and roll through it. Go do it. Maybe I can do my picks while I'm doing some push-ups. I'll get a few in while we start it off, and then you can talk us through it or however you want to go about it.
That's a great idea. Do you want to go right into week 7 picks right now, or do you want to dabble into a couple other things that we wanted to talk about?
Don't matter. It's wherever. If that's how we want to roll through we didn't have a plan, so we better make one on the fly real quick.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Dude, I got to tell you real quick about this gym I went to. So my daughter, we talk about her. She's a volleyball player. She's in 7th grade. Middle school volleyball here in the States, where I'm at in Texas, is pretty big. We went to this high school that is brand new. This place was like a college. This like the nicest facilities I've seen. I mean, a junior level college for sure. D3 better, easy. It's called Walnut Grove High School, and it's in Prosper, Texas. You got to look it up. This thing is, I mean, I was looking it up. They have like a Jimmy John's in their like cafeteria. They have like a Chick-fil-A in their cafeteria. This thing is crazy. It's insane. And I can't believe the kids have this. So it was pretty cool to check out the facilities today. I mean, it seriously looked like you're walking into an NFL facility, man. Absolutely insane. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I was stoked that the kids got to play there. They didn't get the W, but it was a fun experience, no less. And as you said, I made it in time.
Oh, whatever. Like I said, it's dad duty's the number one duty always, right? And then the rest
for sure.
So for anyone who's like, oh, these guys are disorganized, well, sorry, we're trying to run our live and we're trying to be dads. You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
And that's the fun part, man. Let's just get here, have fun, chat on some Thursday nights, and then go from there.
For sure.
Right.
Obviously, one of the big things we were chatting about in week 6 was just kind of all the running backs that are just like no longer there, right? It's kind of obliterated at this point. Even like Kyrene Williams, this guy that's been carrying me since like Cam Akers was not the guy with the Rams, and he's gone now for a week, and it's a wasteland out there. It's tough to run through it this year, but the names that a guy's got to find on the wire for some of these, it's pretty rough going at the moment. So I just hope someone like Jonathan Taylor, someone can start to get going for some of the people that got him stashed. And
Did you pick up Zach Evans in any league to replace Kyron?
Not really. I think he's only going to be out for like a week. I don't really like burn any fab money or any priority on it, really. I had a few leagues where like I'm in need of a receiver. Like I have a couple of leagues where I got Justin Jefferson, right? So Justin Jefferson down, DeAndre Hopkins on a bye week, a couple of guys on bye weeks. So then I was looking to guys like maybe Curtis Samuel and a few other names like that were kind of they've been sneaky good, and they're still sitting around on a lot of wires. A lot of guys were targeting other people like Craig Reynolds and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
So it was kind of just going where I need to, right? Because bye weeks are starting, and with all the injuries, some of those things that were strategized to work, they're just not working. So I've got to adjust on the fly.
I got to tell you about a waiver wire claim I put in today. And I know the Sassy League is here. You guys might be listening. You might be watching. But if you're not, I'm going to tell you my play for the Friday waiver wire, and we'll see if I get it.
Nice.
TKB, you're going to call this a Bush League move, maybe the most Bush League move of the season for the Sassy League. But somebody dropped Judy.
Jerry Judy?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been kind of. I mean, everybody.
No, he's coming. It's not his fault, man.
I would never Judy's for sure. Like, drop. That's a good pickup for whoever gets him, I would say.
Yeah, I saw him there, and I was like, "Are you kidding?" Somebody dropped him on Wednesday. I mean, I didn't look at their situation or anything like that, why they would have dropped him, but I sure enough, I put in a $51 waiver wire claim on him. So to beat me out, put in a 52, and you got to put it in tonight, or I'm gonna have a killer receiving core to go along with my killer RB core. I think I'm 8-2 right now, dude. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good in the Sassy League.
I like how you're giving it all away. I like how you.
Oh yeah. I gotta make it fair. DK got in me. DK, we talk about you too much on this podcast. DK got into my butt because, man, I'm just hoarding all the good players. I'm not wanting to make trades. And I felt bad, man. DK is just such a nice person that I gotta throw him a bone every once in a while, give him some love. So DK, go pick him up. Judy, he's available.
He's giving his opponent some love, giving him the chance to take him out. I love it. It's some great camaraderie. These guys are probably paying him something under the table or something.
Oh, for sure.
Win the league, or who knows what's going on over there at that sassy league. But no, I'm just kidding. You guys have been one of the best communities there in the league. Obviously, been pretty interactive and rolling. This week, you guys kind of stumbled a little bit.
We did.
You kind of faltered. I was looking because I was like, ooh, like me and the boys didn't do as well as normal. And then I was like, holy wow, these guys are really slacking as compared to normal. I had a chance to make a run on it. And, it's one of those weeks. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it's a slow week. Sometimes it's a big one. Never know.
So I'm full of excuses right now, and I'm going to blame it on the Twitter algorithm, the X algorithm. I don't know who you paid off to not allow your tweets to show up in the sassy thread. I don't know who you paid off, but you paid off somebody. Elon, maybe it was Elon. If you paid off Elon Musk, man, more power to you. Just bring it home for the Bush League. Why don't we'll give you the trophy right now. We can't have you be paying off people. Let's keep it fair. TKB, can we keep it fair?
No, we're good. It's just the boys are buzzing. We only get 1.5 fab points for our Bush League background too. You guys are getting double, so man, you guys got a chance.
We got an advantage. Okay, I like it.
You know what the big one was though this week? Was last week on the Twitter post. I put anybody that posts their matchup would get 100 fab, and so a lot of people got a nice boost from hitting that one up and snagging 100 fab. I know, like Monty from Alien Friend, shouts to him. He got it. A few people from your community got it. Karaoke team went pretty wild on it. If you look at the standings in the league, maybe I'll pop over to that for a little bit right now while we're talking about it.
Well, hold on for a sec. You made something for today too, right? So if the folks are watching this right now and they show proof they're watching it right now on Twitter, then you'll give them how many points? It was like a lot, right?
Oh no, that was something else earlier. But I get earlier in the day. Oh, I got a big hair there that's chilling. No, earlier in the day, I was just offering if anybody who had their notifications on for the Bushleague Sports so that they would know when this came up. If they had it on and showed me, I was going to give them a whole bunch of coins because in our Discord we got a little coin system going, and people that get those coins can get access to another like free membership or whatever like that, because we'll be doing a free mint for our early access to what we're launching. We'll be doing that sometime in the next month or two. So then with this little thing in our Discord, it's just a fun little game. Some people are playing it. You can like play roulette with this fake money, but then you can buy free mints in the Discord. So I was just offering that. But sure, if someone's in here and they retweet this thing, I'll hook you up with 3,000 of those coins in the league Discord. Get the degeneracy rolling in there.
I was ready to start filming myself in here just so I could get the credit for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would believe you if you said you were here. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, pull up those scores, those stats, man. You guys definitely pulled away a little bit this week.
Yeah, let's check it out. There's the old Bushleague trophy, maybe.
I don't see my name on there yet.
No, it'll come one day, I'm sure. But obviously for anybody who hasn't visited our site yet, go over to www.bushleaguemedia.com or www.bushleaguesports.io, and that'll redirect you right to the sports page. We'll get there in a second. But you can come in, you can check out.
Who are those handsome mother? My goodness! Woo!
Devils from last week. This show's pinned up there. So every couple weeks or month, we'll pin a different show up there, but they'll always be available in Facebook, X, and YouTube. You can come down here, hit the button, and go over to any of them. Past show, we're live right now, so I'm going to have to fix my little algo in the website because we are live right now, baby. But it did pop it up, so it's working. But you can go here, find out all about everything to do with our membership, everything we got going on with the roadmap plans and things we got going on. And then obviously with the Bushleague Sports League, like we were talking about, you can come over to the sports page and you're going to find where we have the Friends Fantasy Football. Friends Fantasy Football tournament set up, and you can see where all the communities are ranking, what they're earning for fantasy points each week. It gets updated. What they're earning for fab points each week gets updated, and those fab points are earned through signing up to the Tribe Rewards leaderboard. And everybody who's in there any interactions they make with anything Bush League Media, and we try to post, our stats about Sassy or Kuroki, or we try to kind of get as many posts as we can out each week. And when I say we, it's me, nobody else. So I do what I can. But anytime you're interacting with those or doing anything, you get fab points that we put directly into the Sleeper League. And then all the leagues are here. Everybody can kind of see what's going on each week, see where everybody's sitting this week. Obviously, matchups are just underway. It doesn't look like anybody on Team Sassy's got anybody really playing in the Thursday night game. She's looking a little empty, but you can see over there, Sassy team holding strong in second. There wasn't much movement this week. Just a quick up down for Fibo and Maxie's in the power rankings. But how you guys feeling? You guys you stumbled a little that week.
Yeah. Just got to come back stronger next week, right? Let's get out there. Let's like some tweets, share some tweets, make some comments, have some fun. I think we'll get out there. I think we'll get better. I think we'll have a better week this coming week, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
And for anybody that doesn't fully understand it, each one of those leagues is a 12-person league. Each community has that many members in it. Someone in that league is going to win an NFT from their community. We're going to give free access to our project to everyone in each of those leagues. But then at the same time, we're totaling everybody's scores together in every league and, making it a fun little tournament where they're competing against each other. So each one of these communities is going to have their own little league where they're going head to head at. And then over on our site, it kind of gives all the feedback, tallies all the points, and makes a fun little tournament. And, as we go and as we grow this, we're hoping to kind of turn it into a really fun marketing tool over time, have something where when you're sharing about specifically, say, Shredding Sassy or Kuroki or V-Friends or any of those communities involved, that's how you'll be getting points and building little tournaments out for those projects or for other businesses. And so it's been really fun to see all the people participating. And thank you guys all, everybody who shares stuff every week, retweets it, comments, posts their stuff. Let's keep tagging Sleeper. We got to get hooked up with them. We got to get a deal going. Let's go, Sleeper. We're doing this. I got onboarded a couple hundred people probably over to the app, and we gotta kind of grow this even more. I got some big ideas, but it's been fun. I think you guys have been enjoying it a lot more than most communities, and so thank you.
Well, yeah, I think that, and it's been really cool to see other communities since we've started express interest in next year. So I would really think that this is a good group to start with. I know that there has been some communities that have participated a lot and some that are a little bit lower, and that's okay. That's okay. I think that next year, slowly it's just going to weed out. Maybe it's like soccer where you get relegated, like the bottom 4 teams are relegated and we bring in 4 new communities each year. That might not be a bad idea. Might make it a little fun, somebody be a little upset after getting relegated and have to battle back into the top league.
Yeah, no, it'd be fun. I think we'll be able to set up some different stuff for sure through different ways of the tech and have a lot of fun with it. It'll be should be a good time. So we'll anybody who wants to find out about that, just hop in Discord or check us out on socials, and we'll dial you in and everything about the league. But where do you want to get into from there? You want to go into week 7? You want to go into a little hockey chatter? Hockey's been going, baseball's going on. Where do you want to take your life? Oh, well, that's a beautiful trophy.
One of the things that we haven't done since like week 2 that I was really excited about, but we get up here, we get all silly. Our minds aren't straight. We haven't talked about the Bushleague beatdown.
Ooh, the Bushleague beatdown, baby. Yeah, I know. I got one to mind last week for myself.
There were several Bushleague beatdowns this past week, but I want to know which one was yours.
Oh, I mean, I think the 49ers getting upset was a little bit odd to see, but for me, I think it's Eagles Jets. The Jets came out and beat the Broncos last week when I was there. Embarrassed me while I was there in attendance, and then they come out this week and beat the number 1 team in the league, which was the Eagles. And
you didn't feel any better? Did you feel any better about the week prior? The week prior?
I mean, no, not really, because I feel like it's like the Broncos' fault that this happened. Like, because of their suckiness, they gave the Jets this like momentum where now they got the dethroned Philly, and it's just going to be a bunch of pandemonium in New York. I'm good for all the Jets fans. I'm stoked for them. But no, it's like, no, I don't like it at all. Because what if they go, like, I'll laugh if they go 16-1 and that's their only loss. But Yeah, there was a couple.
Could happen. Could happen.
Almost lost, and it just all close games by the teams that lost out, but it was not what he expected in a few of those games. The Dolphins came out on top as expected, but that would probably be the Bushleague beatdown for me, even though it wasn't like a beatdown in score wise. It wasn't what you expected.
Did you see Gary V's post like right after the game?
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck happened? Like video, like so cool. So
good
cool. I
was like, oh, good for them. Stoked for them.
I love sports like that. I love the underdog story when it's not my team they're competing against. When it's not my team they're competing against, I'm all for stuff like that. I love it. It's that's what sports is all about. So really cool. My Bushleague beatdown of the week was my Super Bowl pick at the beginning of the year, 49ers. That's who I picked. Our first live stream. Was really stoked on them. I thought that, holy cow, after these first few games, they roughed up the Steelers in week 1 and just have been smooth sailing ever since. Nobody's even touched them. And then, holy cow, we can't put up points on the Cleveland Browns. So very interesting. Unfortunately, Purdy had an off game. McCaffrey, it was just rough all around. And then, field goal at the end of the game to win it. You miss it. And, there she blows. It's gone.
He didn't get a rushing touchdown, but again, another touchdown through the air, making that. Was that game 16 now? I'm not. Yeah,
he's a monster.
Monstrous, and he's just rolling on a big run right now. So that's impressive to see for him. And I almost said that as mine at the beginning because I fried ass. Lost track of what I was doing. I almost gave your pick at the start, but then I realized, no, the Jets is the one. They're the ones that just beat my boys. I don't like them. So, it's almost a Bushleague move, but we recovered. We were good.
I was wondering I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I was under the impression that the Eagles were your Super Bowl pick. So I was like, oh man, my Super Bowl pick goes down to the Browns. Your Super Bowl pick goes down to the Jets, man. It was a rough week for the Bushleague boys.
Yeah, but I didn't. Mine's the Bills. I have the Eagles playing the Bills in the Super Bowl, but I picked the Bills to take it this year. And they're not as hot as I thought they would be. So I mean, going into it, I thought they were kind of a betting favorite, even though the odds weren't very good to bet on them. I was like, I think they had a really good chance to actually run with it the whole way, but they're not showing that right now. So a guy might be wanting to hedge that a little bit. If you're playing anybody to be winning the bowl, you might want to be adjusting and finding somewhere else to play some odds, or who knows, maybe even Cleveland themselves is a squad that could do something. But they're still impressively good without Chubb and Watson and everybody they're missing this week.
Do you think Watson will start this week? I think he's still shown questionable. I had to pull him off the IR. I had to drop somebody in one of my leagues. I dumped him in the starting position because I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with Dobbs. I'm hoping he's back. I need somebody.
All I know is I had to activate him off IR because they got him as questionable, and they don't know. And he's just wasting room on my roster space. Come on, guys, that's just Bush League. You got to keep that shit red. Let the boys keep him in the IR. Let us play a little
until we know for sure. We can't move him to questionable this early in the week. What are we doing?
Injured until proven uninjured. Once they get red, none of this midweek going back to orange stuff and just no. That's what I'm calling it right here. Nope, no more. None of this back to orange messing with my rosters. That goes for Yahoo, all you MF with the hockey leagues, anything. If that guy, as soon as he hits red, don't even tease me. No more orange. Let me keep my lineups exactly where they are. Don't bother me until the guy's playing sport again. Thank you.
What's going on with Murray? I know that we had talked that he's potentially out for the whole year, but I'm not sure. Have you heard anything different? Is it still?
Did we talk about who being potentially out for the whole year?
Kyler Murray.
You didn't talk to me about that. I got Kyler Murray stashed in every league. I've been tucking him in I've drafted that MFer in leagues. He's tucked in my IR. I'm expecting him back. He's throwing at practice this week. They opened the IR window for him to come back. So he's got 21 days to activate him. It'll probably happen, I would say, week 8 or 9. We might get a Kyler Murray showing. And I could be wrong, but I think that if he's out there on a waiver wire and you're scrambling for a quarterback, I would grab him, pick him up. He's still in the pup. They're not unpupping him yet, so you can put him on the IR and stash him there till he's activated, hopefully, until they start playing with your heart. But for now, no, I never said that. I think he's come back.
Okay, maybe I was talking to somebody else, man. I talked too much, apparently, and I talked to too many people. That might be my issue. But yeah, so I have him in one league. I don't have any IR space in my other league. Can you give me another IR spot? Just give it to me. I mean, we do a show together every Thursday. Anyway, you can give me a special release for a third IR spot.
We favor those who, they share the most, they get the most fab, but that's all we can do over at the Bushleague. There'll be no cheating. There'll be no.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I had to try.
I respect it. Absolutely.
Well, so I kind of was thinking before we move on to hockey, we should probably hockey and baseball, man. We are in the league championship series in baseball, so we should probably touch a little on that. But I think you got some push-ups to do, and I got to yell at you. I got to yell some picks and write them down as we're going. I think we can probably get through.
You want to go buy hockey and baseball and get to the picks? So that's where.
Yeah. Let's move hockey and baseball to the end.
You couldn't decide at the beginning. You're stuttering around. I don't know what I should pick. Now all of a sudden, out of the blue, just cold. Hey, this guy, he's got to be doing push-ups now.
It took me a little bit to get comfortable, man. You're getting a little too comfortable here. I figured I really want to project my teams over your teams from a hockey perspective, and I need you to be winded. And 50 push-ups, I know you're going to be winded.
Yeah, I might even do 25ers so that I'm not. Maybe I got to switch.
Okay. I like it. Hey, while you're getting down,
mostly just because I'm old and so I don't know what's going on, but I got like a pulled groin or something. It hurts, so I don't know. It's just
how'd you get a pulled groin?
I don't know, man. I've had it acts up sometimes. I'm a goalie and I hurt that stuff a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then skateboarding and doing the splits when you're not supposed to, and even now doing the splits when you're not supposed to on a skateboard at my age is exactly how I did it. But it's just it's been
it takes a while to heal now, man. I've jacked up my hips, I've jacked up my ankles skating in the last 6 months, and it has not been great. But what I wanted to say is back to football real quick. The Saints are starting to make it a game. Right now it is 24-16. The Saints have the ball. Yeah, Saints have the ball on their 47, 1st and 10, 24-16. There's 8 minutes left in the game. It's gonna get weird, man. Let's see New England bring it, or I'm sorry, New Orleans bring it down.
Are we in there? You gotta tell me if I'm in the view.
You're perfectly in the view. So I need to know, are the Saints coming back? Are you taking the Saints to come back? Or are you gonna stick with the Jags pulling this away?
Jags are taking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jags too. As much as I want the Saints to come back and win this, I'm going Jags all day. All right, moving on from the Jags, we're at the Falcons and the Bucks. Falcons and the Bucks. How you feeling? You feeling Baker after that poor showing?
Yeah, let's go Bucks.
All right, I'm going Jags and Bucks as well. We love to make the same picks for most of our picks. Okay, here's an interesting one. Oakland, man, look at me, dude. Rookie on the mic right now. The Las Vegas Raiders versus Chicago Bears. I don't know. Is Justin Fields is out? How long is Justin Fields out for?
Don't know. Doing push-ups. You tell me.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Man, I pulled up on my phone. So rookie move again. Not sure how long Justin Fields is out for. Assume he's not back this week. Raiders versus Bears. I'm going to go Raiders. I'm going to say Raiders are going to pull this off. Hand the Bears another loss. At least the Bears got one win. I forget who they beat, though. My push-up guy's back. So
let's go, motherfucker.
So who did the Bears beat this year? They need to come to me a little bit. My mind's not working.
They didn't beat the Broncos. I don't know how, but
I'm just giving you a hard time, man. I'm giving you a hard time after the push-up. So we both went Bucks. We both went Jags. Oh my gosh. Oh, so check.
Keeping me dialed in 50 push-ups out of nowhere. Let's go, baby.
You did 50?
Well, you count? Can't you count?
And are you sure you didn't do 25? Somebody's going to check the tape.
Roll the tape, baby.
Check the tape. All right. So when you started your push-ups, the Saints were on their own 47. Now they're on the Jacksonville 17, 1st and 10.
Yeah, what's the score?
24-16, Jacksonville. So the Saints are marching, man. Saints are marching. Put in the end zone, go for 2. It's a tie ball game.
Cute.
Ooh, look at this background. Look at you. All right, so we got the Jags, we got the Bucks.
AI Stadium, that's our own.
I'm taking the Raiders over the Bears. Are you going Raiders?
Raiders and Bears. They got the win last week. They made us some money in the pick department. Bears at home. No Fields, Raiders. I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Then we got Browns and Colts. Browns coming off a big week, beaten down. You going Browns? Okay, I'm going Colts.
I'm going Browns. Colts don't have Richardson, and so I'm going Browns.
We're splitting it right here. Stick with the mustache, man. What are you doing, dude? You guys are brothers. You guys are mustache brothers.
He's my mustache brother, but it just the Browns will be rolling. I can't do it.
Commanders coming off a win against the Giants.
The Giants, I just don't like picking them. Who's starting, Tyrod or Jones? If Tyrod,
it's got to be Tyrod, right?
I don't know. Jones.
Yeah, I would think it's got to be Tyrod. Tyrod played last week.
Jones just had concussion though. He could be coming back. Commanders. I don't like picking Jones.
Yeah, me too. Here's a good one. Lions, Ravens. Before you say anything, I'm going Lions.
I don't think Commanders.
You can't copy me.
I don't think Commanders and Giants. So before we roll, I don't think it's more than like a 2.5 spread. Like I think it's close.
Yeah, definitely agree.
What'd you say?
Next one is Lions, Ravens.
That's a good game. That's probably my favorite game of the morning.
Really great game.
Bills is obviously playing, but they're playing an easy matchup, I think. But that to me is the game of the morning on Sunday. Oh, it's tough. Oh, I just don't know. I'll give it to Ravens at home. I feel like it's basically an even draw. And last time I felt like that in the game, I gave it to the home team with the 0.5 favorite. And I think I'll just go Ravens. I think it's going to be a coin flip, though.
Absolutely. So I'm going to take Lions on that one. And then we're moving on to that one that you just mentioned.
I've been Lions all year. That's been my go. So we'll see.
I know. After week 1, man, you turned me. You turned me after week 1, man. The Lions have been
I think the Ravens will have the playbook to be able to get around the Lions a little bit this week.
All right, Bills and Patriots.
Easy
Patriots
work
at home. Yeah,
Bills got something to prove. Easy work.
That's what we said about the Jags, though.
Yeah,
but they were in England
to prove, though. Bills don't. They do, but in my opinion, they suck. They're like the Broncos.
Next one, Cardinals, Seahawks. Got to keep Seahawks. Keep pushing the Seahawks right now.
Cardinals, Seahawks. Dobbs again this week. Seahawks, Gino.
All right. Steelers, Rams. You gonna pick against my Steelers this week?
The Rams. I just don't know if they're gonna have Kyrie. Then maybe they might just have some random new running back. But Cup's always good. Steelers. I mean, have they even been playing that good this year? I haven't been paying attention.
They're 3-2. Their wins have been sloppy to say the least, but they're still winning. So I'm going Steelers. You say Rams? You taking Rams?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the Rams. I'll bet against you.
All right, that's our third offset.
Cute.
All right, next one, Chargers, Chiefs.
Chargers just barely squawked one out last week, but then lost. Chiefs.
Saw some rumors on X that T Swizzle and Travis Kelce are on the outs. Kelce was at the Phillies game the other day with his brother, and T Swizzle wasn't with him.
I mean, just because she's not at one game doesn't mean anything to me. I don't really care that much, but I'm pretty sure she's got a busy schedule of her own.
No, really?
Lady run free.
She just doesn't follow him around everywhere. That's not how it works. That's not how it works when you're a mega star.
No, you gotta let your lady run free. She's got some lady weekends to go on. Probably some different little events. Who knows? Maybe you never know what they're up to. Maybe they're going to a Perry concert for all you know.
Probably.
You gotta let them run a little wild. You gotta let them do their thing.
Got it. Perfect. All right, next one. Packers Broncos.
The boys are abysmal. I want to pick them. Do I put faith back in them to do something? Broncos at home because I'm not there. I'm going to put some faith in the boys. Don't make me do push-ups. Broncos.
Okay, I'm going to pick the Packers just because you picked the Broncos.
Okay, that's cute. I respect it.
Good move.
So then that's obviously an absolute clutch Sunday night game. I'm
perfect.
Stoked for that one. It's as money as it gets. But I just think Eagles coming off a loss. They're going to be hungry.
Yeah.
They're going to be hungry. And they're going to want to take it. But the Dolphins are marching. Are they march right over the Eagles?
Are the Eagles D going to be able to stop the Dolphins run game, to stop the Dolphins pass game? The Dolphins are on offense. They got some of the best in the world, man. It's going to be
their defense is no good. So I think the Eagles, will be able to put up some points. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think if there was a game where I was going to look at an over 45 or even over 51 and a half, I would pick a pretty high point total for this game. Now, mind you, almost every time I've said that, the last game, it was the Bills. They got 9 points, and it's just I think there were 17 total points. So don't take my advice. It's Bushleague, and it's never good advice, probably. Even though we got to be 600-700 on the year with our season picks so far. But way she goes.
That's a tough one for me. So I am. All right, I want to go against you. I want to believe in the Dolphins. I want to believe that their offense is strong enough to void their defense. But I can't pick against the Eagles. I'm going Eagles too. Last game, Monday night, Niners versus Vikings.
Niners, Vikings. Yes, they lost last week. The Vikings are just Jefferson's the team. I hate to say it. Nobody replaces him. It just doesn't happen. He's just that good. No, 49ers, I think, will get back on track with a win.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. So we had 4 different picks this week.
Ooh, cute.
We're going to have another one. Maybe we should have had 5. If we had 5 different picks, there would definitely not be a tie, right? Is my math right? Yeah, it would have to be at least one off.
Not necessarily. Maybe. I don't know.
Exactly. It would have to at least be one off, no matter what. At a minimum, one off. But we'll risk it. I like the thought of you doing 50 push-ups and me doing 0. So I'll definitely risk the.
I'm push-upping you 100 to 50. So
there you go. Is that what it is?
I'm stronger. Yeah, I
agreed.
I've done 2 50s and you've done 225s.
225s. All right.
That's
all right.
Leveling up, if we had a pro editor, it could level us up like a GTA character. I just get a stat point every time. 25 push-ups, and we could see how cool our character is at the end of the year. That's in the future, season 2 of this show, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe never. Who knows? We'll get that graphic going. That'll be something we'll have every time. A little pop up, level up. So yeah, it'll be mint.
When are we getting? We got to get one to come in and make a what's it called? Like an introduction.
An intro
video. That's it. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, dude.
We
work so well together.
You didn't like my snowboard video?
No, your snowboard video was awesome. I came in and I typed to you in the private chat. I was like, hey, what are we watching here?
Where'd you type it? I was trying to look on my phone earlier, see if I could see on X or something if anyone was typing there.
No.
Discord asking questions, because I told everybody if they ask questions in Discord today, I'll try to answer them, but no questions.
No, so there's a private chat here in Streamyard that I see it. I guess you don't see it, where I can comment to you. So.
Oh yeah, up top there. Okay, can other people comment to us? Oh yeah, Jacoby Byers, what's going on? Russ Cookie got it right, baby. Let's go, Jacoby. Oh, I just figured it out. We're going. Oh, I missed a word though when I was typing it. I said it, but I didn't type it. You know how that one goes. Let's go. Oh, it came from 3 accounts at once. It comes, all my accounts replied to him. Cool. We're moving into the future, baby. Welcome to the metaverse. Now what?
I didn't know Jacoby could do. That's awesome. I see that now where he's commenting on YouTube. That's
YouTube. Yeah, it pinged soon as I scheduled it, like half hour before I went live. It popped up in my server because I figured out how to set the bot up. Big E was showing me how to use Me6, and then I just activated everything. And now I know how to use it all. So now we're rolling.
Amazing. Well, dude, I think again, we've had a pretty solid year, like you said. I mean, we're over 600 each. And probably 700. We got to
and take a look here one of these days.
Absolutely. So hey, go back, look at these picks, copy them. You're gonna make some money. Not financial advice, but you're gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, we'd be doing good if we were picking like just straight up for the money. $20 a pick. I think we'd be making money in theory. I should start doing that. I should start betting every game individual.
And then we'll just start losing. And then you're just gonna start losing. It's the whammy. It's the gambling whammy.
Let's see how we're doing it halfway, and if we're still rolling.
What's the laws in Saskatchewan for gambling, for sports betting?
I mean, I don't know. I think you bet on an app you're allowed to use, and if you win,
Gotcha.
I don't know.
So in Texas, you can't sports bet
Okay.
unless there's certain things that you can do, but just
like
straight
in
up.
Ontario, you can't sports bet unless it's sanctioned through the Ontario thing. So like say DraftKings, they have a special like DraftKings Ontario app, like it's its own app made
Exactly
for that province.
Sure. Yeah.
Trippy, kind of cool. But then I don't think a lot of it you can even do. But that's what I know of that. Who's dinging me in the league? Oh, just people making roster moves.
There you go. So hey, let's get into hockey, because last week you really claimed yourself to be a fantasy hockey connoisseur, champion, always winner. I don't know how else to describe your mindset from a fantasy hockey perspective. And fantasy hockey is not something that I've done since I was 18, 19, 20, 21. So, and then halfway through the year, I fell asleep. I forgot about it. I got bored with it. And I'm a huge hockey fan. I watch hockey like crazy, but fantasy hockey, I could just never really get into. So, tell me kind of your mindset, your goals, like why it's been so, like it just sticks with you. And maybe it's a Canadian thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like I say, like for me, I don't know. I feel like we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on the show or if we did, whatever. There's only 3 people viewing it. And so if you're hearing the story again, good for you. But like for me, fantasy sports and everything would have started with just doing like drafts in person with my old man, right? When I was like 12 years old, probably, or pretty young when I started like reffing hockey as well. And I'd get together with him and all his ref buddies, right? And I'd be drinking pop and eating chips, and they'd be drinking beer and draft. And when you did the drafts back then, you draft in person, right? And then it would go online. Like, and I still use that same website, like the Office Polls. You can now do the drafts online, or I use ESPN for our actual fantasy leagues. And then we always do like a playoff pool, like they did. We do one of them on Office Polls all the time. But I guess hockey's like, I've played fantasy hockey forever, right? And then when we really grew the Bushleague into like a dynasty league and started doing it all the time, where me and the boys have had that league for like 13, 14 years, that same league. I went on a run for quite a while, but I guess for me, you got to draft a good team. Obviously you got to know the stats of the league, right? Like if there's face-offs or hits or things like that, you got to know where your value lies in players. But my big thing's always been just chasing man games. So like usually always having a couple players that I'm not like in love with, that I'm willing to kind of cycle. And then, you might have a move or two a week where what I'll do is I'll try to pick up a guy who's going to play like the most games in a week, or someone who plays like 3 games in the first 4 days of the week, so that I can let him play his games, drop them. Because in hockey, a lot of it's just a game of like stats, right? Like shots. Like, so just by naturalness, I don't know the word I'm looking for. That's or Bush League, but it just, you're going to get more shots, you're going to get more hits, you're going to get more bluff, you got more man games, right? So something I've always implored, where I just really strategize on like who you can get. Like say this week, I grabbed Logan Cooley, who's just like a young guy from Arizona, but he's playing on line one a lot of times, line one power play, and they got 3 games in 4 days. So I picked him up. I'll end up dropping him, and then I'll pick someone up maybe who plays 2 games in Friday, Saturday, and then I'll see what I need on Sunday. Maybe I need a goalie stat, and I'll pick up a goalie, or if I need a player, I'll try to pick up the best player available. And sometimes I'll just play it like that, and depends how many roster moves and stuff you have. But I got like a little website I use. I think it's just a Daily Face-Off, where they have a pretty quick interface you can go to, and it'll show you like how many man games, or you can see starting goalies when you're trying to figure out who's starting on weekends, and just a few little hacks like that. But I know a lot of people think like it's super daily, but I really don't think it is. Like for me, I'll go in, I'll just set my lineup for the week, right? And then I'll maybe make a few of those waiver moves through the week. But to me, it's no different than NFL, where you got to go in, swap your guys, figure out who's injured, who's not. You got to go onto the waivers, put in your bids, and blah blah blah, right?
But with the NFL, there's only 1 game a week, so it's easier to waiver, to know when a position's locked in and you can't change it. So can you pick somebody up on Wednesday and have him play on Thursday, Friday, Saturday? You know, if they have
100%.
You can. Okay.
Yeah, I set all our leagues up. Yeah, you can. So,
but if somebody played that week already, you can't remove them from a spot. So if somebody has a Monday night game, are they locked in for the whole week, or can you?
Some people play it like that, right? Like where you just set your lineup at the start of the week, which is an almost easier format, right? Because it just locks everything in. For us, we just play it like how NFL, once a guy plays, he locks. So the guys lock every day that they play, and then they would like unlock the next morning kind of thing, and you can around type of deal, right? So
okay.
For me, I'll usually just go in at the start of the week, set my lineup. So, and it's just like NFL, like, you know how you have your bench. Well, those bench guys, you don't usually play them. So in hockey, the difference is I'm going to go through the week, and I'm going to move my guys off my bench in on days they're playing. And there might be a few days once in a while where the league's really active and you got to bench some playing guys, but you're usually taking your bench and scheduling them like, okay, McDavid's not playing, but Trocheck is. And for a lot of leagues, you'll have like 3 centers, 3 left wings, 3 right wings. And so then you can put your extra guy in and out. And so for me, that's where just making sure my lineups are set, and then trying to have 1 or 2 guys that I'm rotating, where I get 2, 3, 4, 5 extra man games over my opponent, which just gives you that little edge in getting a couple extra penalty minutes or shots or hits and maybe some goals and blah, blah, blah. Right. So just that little bit of, I don't know. I think it's a lot easier than people think it is once you get
what's the roster size. So, so what's the roster size, and then what you can play per week? So
it depends. Like say I'm in one league where the roster size is, I think it's like it's 16, I want to say. And so there you have 3 centers, 3 left wings, 3 right wings, 4 defense. So that's 13, right? 9, 13. Yeah. And then a utility where you can put anything, that's 14. And then 2 goalies. So 15, 16. And then in 1 bench spot. So you can move it. So, and then I have another league that's the same, but we have 5 bench spots. So I think like 16 to 20 is kind of the average bench size. A lot like I say NFL is, I mean, depend on the league, but like our basic leagues there, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 5 bench are about 13 or 14. Sure. I know like keeper league is about 18. Our dynasty league's probably 25, 26 deep. So the hockey's kind of in the middle there. I think around 16.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So you hit on something that really spoke to me earlier, that you were a hockey referee when you were 12. So fun fact, same thing, man. My dad and I started reffing around the same time. We got our, USA Hockey ref certification. I was 13, and we ref together. And I started reffing adult league games at maybe 14, 15 beer league games. And it was pretty intense, but yeah, it was fun. It was definitely a growing up experience, a life learning experience. And my dad was playing in the adult league games, man. It was a blast. And I reffed all the way through high school, all the way through when I left to the military. So that was I actually worked at the pro shop as well in the rink. So
Did you play hockey too, or you just?
Yeah. So I played. So where I'm from northwestern Pennsylvania. For hockey, my town didn't have a rink. The closest rink was 30 minutes away. We had a family friend who was into hockey. Her name was Linda. She was amazing. And she was a huge Penguin fan. I lived about 2 hours from Pittsburgh, and she was a big Rick Tocchet fan. So I remember being a huge Rick Tocchet fan, before he's the Rick Tocchet we know today. Rick Tocchet was like a greasy, grindy, penalty in your face type of player. So I remember she had Rick Tocchet sticks like lined up in her house, man. It was so cool. So I started when I was 7. I didn't start when I was 5 years old, like most of the kids 4 or 5 years old. So I started when I was 7. It was a town away. And I think I did like 1 year of mini mites. I was like the oldest one, 1 year of mites, and then squirts, 2 years, Pee-wee, 2 or 3 years, whatever it is. But I played all the way through high school. Again, I couldn't play high school hockey, which is, I would say, semi-big in the area because my high school didn't have a team and you couldn't play for the high school unless you went to that high school. So I played travel hockey. Our highest level of travel hockey was like midget A, wasn't huge where I was at. Just, played all the way through. And then when I left, I joined the military, played a little bit in California when I was out there in the military, played roller in Guam. Just pick up roller in Guam. And then I went out to Italy and played in Italy for a while. And that was really cool. It was roller in Italy as well. We were in Sicily. And this was 2015 is probably the last time I really played. And it was roller in Italy. And we had an American team out there. And we were called the Sigonella Wise Guys. We were on the Sigonella military base. We were the Wise Guys. And we had tuxedo jerseys, like we could get any kind of jerseys we wanted made out there, and they were sick. They were like tuxedo t-shirt jerseys, like, hi, my name is Sleep on the side. I had my number on the back. Man, it was amazing. And we actually could play in their league. They let us play in their, it was the highest level of roller hockey in Italy. So it wasn't super high at all, but we ended up losing in the final to a team from Messina. And that was like the Sicily final. And then they went on to play, the Northern Italian. So it was kind of cool. It was fun. I met a lot of guys that I wouldn't have met before. And then when I left, there wasn't a lot of money in certain areas. I left. I just gave them all my gear. A couple teams didn't have a lot of money, kind of had crappy gear. I just said, hey, take my gear. And away I went. But yeah, that's my hockey career in a nutshell. I still love it. My son plays now. He is in the Dallas Stars youth program, which is just an insane youth program. The Dallas Stars run like 5 or 6, maybe more rinks in the Dallas area. I can only think of one rink that isn't under the Dallas Stars umbrella. But compared to me growing up playing travel, where I would travel 30 minutes, 40 minutes away for games, their house league here in Dallas, their in-house league is you traveling 30 to 40 minutes for games. So you're playing teams from all over the Dallas Metroplex. It is practically like a travel league, but it's an in-house league. So it's really interesting. And maybe that's a bad way to describe it, but just compared to what I grew up with, in-house league, everybody played from the same rink, really small. Maybe the league was 6 teams or something like that. When my son's, there's got to be 30 teams in that age.
When you say that's just like basically Dallas and like the suburbs, like the metro towns surrounding it.
Exactly. So right now there is a rink in Frisco, Texas. There's a rink in Plano. There's a rink in Richardson. There's a rink in McKinney, and these are all really close to Dallas. So each rink has 3 or 4 teams, maybe more, 5, 6 teams within the same age group. And then they do a leveling tournament at the beginning of the year. So you don't ever have to play like a really top team or really low team. The leveling tournament's not to balance the teams per se, like put a really good player on a team, then a really not so good player on the same team. And then not to balance the teams like that, but to ensure that they're playing teams of their caliber. So if the team ends up being a little lower, they only want them to play a little bit lower team. So really interesting model. They're really doing it right. Hockey is huge here. When the Stars moved down here. Yeah, when the Stars moved down here, right now we're at the point where the kids that grew up right when the Stars came here, where those kids are now adults and their kids are growing. And the Mike
Robitaille and all the bullets.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You know, they won the cup in 99, very controversial against Buffalo. But it just, hockey here is huge now. It's really cool. And I'm glad that I get to experience it with my son. I'm wondering if I'll pick it back up again. I'm having a problem not coaching. They've asked me to coach a couple times. My son does not do well with me coaching. I've coached his soccer already. He like leans on me. He's very needy. So I kind of just stay away from, like, you know, it's really good. There's this glass between us. You can kind of do your thing. I'll watch and do my thing. And if I get like, what are you doing, kid? I can just walk away and be fine. So it's definitely been a cool experience, and he's only 5. So we got a lot of time, a lot of hockey left.
Oh yeah, no, that's minor. I mean, that's probably when I started. So when is Dallas just kind of been your favorite team then since
yeah, good question. I do want to know about your hockey career and everything too. But so actually it's really tough. So growing up in Pittsburgh, being a huge Picture fan, I want to say that when I grew up in Pittsburgh, so Lemieux, Yager, we won the cup in 91 and 92. So back-to-back cups. But then we had this time where we were bad until Crosby was drafted. Like, we weren't winning anything, man. We couldn't fight our way out of a wet paper bag. So hockey was not huge. Where I grew up, I mean, without a rink, I was the only kid in my town that played hockey. I was the only kid that watched and liked hockey. So hockey wasn't big, but I loved it, right? I knew Linda. We would always go to her house and watch the game. She would take me to like 1 or 2 games a year. Again, it was a really far drive. Going to the Igloo. Have you seen the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where the Igloo opens up and the helicopter crashes on the ice? The Igloo is the old Penguins arena.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to watch it. Sudden Death. Sudden Death is the movie.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. So everybody listening to this, watching this right now, you have to go back and watch Sudden Death. The Igloo. It was the old Penguins arena where it was in the shape of an igloo, and it would open up. And they shot a Van Damme movie, and like a helicopter crashed on the ice. And I think Van Damme was out there playing goalie for a little bit. He went in for Tom Barrasso or something like that. But I don't remember where I was going with that. But okay,
we need to
clip
it with the Pudgy Penguins Igloo. Ooh.
Yeah, for sure. But so I grew up a Penguins fan, always was a Penguins fan. You know, they won a lot of cups. But moving here to Dallas 5 years ago, you know, I love hockey, right? I just want to watch hockey, I want to go to hockey. So I started going to a lot of Stars games, right? Listening to morning radio. I listen to talk radio like crazy. So they're always talking Dallas Stars. So I make it to last year. I think I made it to about 30 Dallas Stars games, made it to quite a bit.
Nice.
So this year I hope to do the same. So I would say when Pittsburgh comes to town, I got my Pittsburgh jersey on. Myself and my daughter got our Pens jerseys on. My wife and my son have their Stars jerseys on, and we see how it goes. You know, but living here, I know a lot more about the Pens than I do about the Stars. I know a lot more about the farm system of the Stars.
I know they got a cheap win against Buffalo. I was old enough to know that one. That one was unfair back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll have to get a clip of that, but I know they had the whole year where it was like, you can touch the crease, you can put a foot in the crease, you can put a finger, you can put a in the crease, and then in the game-winning goal, I'm pretty sure it's Brett Hall, or was it?
It was
Hall. It was Hall.
That was Hall. Yeah.
Foot in the crease. I mean, good goal, like by my standards, good goal. But I remember at the time being smart enough in hockey and knowing enough about hockey to go like, by definition, all season as to what they've done, no goal, easy call, right? And but it was like, and Hasek was choked. Hasek was like one of my favorite goalies. I mean,
still one of my favorites.
Let's see, I got how much. Is it going to screw up? It'll probably.
Look at all those jerseys, dude. I only thought you had the few.
No, there's Hasek down at the end.
How big is that room, man?
Oh, this room's massive. It's like this house is big. I don't know. This is probably like, this room down here is probably like 1,400 square feet. Just this room.
That was my last house. Was that size?
Yeah, this house is massive. It's like 4,200 square feet.
Your sound quality is not bad in there. You think it would be echoey being so big?
Yeah, I'm just down in the basement room. It's, I don't know. It looks
good.
Yeah, that's a Hasek. That one's signed, authenticated. Got a bunch of Hasek cards in there. I was a little Hasek when I was a kid, so I was a big fan. That's kind of how
he was a beast, man. I loved how he had the
Wings fan. I mean,
I love how he kept the old style mask. Him and Chris Osgood were like the last ones to also another Osgood, another Detroit boy, last ones to change over.
Yeah, that's something, like I say, I can't remember if we were talking about it on the show. I know we were talking about it, but like that's kind of why, like, when I was a kid, I really liked Hasek and identified with him, because like as a kid, I was the kid that like became the goalie, right? Like I started playing hockey when I was like, I want to say 6 or something. Like I obviously skated and did all the stuff the little Canadian kids do, going through like can skate and all that stuff when you're like 3, 4, 5. I think I started playing hockey when I was 6, and then I was just the kid that was like down with playing goalie and getting the puck shot at him like an idiot, right? So then I just ended up actually like becoming a goalie, basically a novice. Like I played almost every game, and I just like wanted to be the goalie. I was bummed if I wasn't the goalie, and it was just my thing, and I got like kind of good at it, right? And Hasek, like, so in minor sports, you get if you're a goalie, they give you like your pads and your glove and a chest protector or whatever, right? And then like just like the other kids, you got to buy like the rest of your stuff, like say your jock and your skates and your helmet and stuff. And so like I had the helmet for playing like out, but we couldn't like afford to get me a goalie helmet. So then I would just have the cage that I would put on or whatever. And so like I felt like I was just like Hasek, like that was my guy, because he made me cool, even though I was like poor and couldn't afford the mask. I could claim I just wanted to be like Hasek. And so
was it the clear plastic one that you would just tie with strings on?
I'll pull it out from my shop. I still have it. I'll pull it out maybe for next show or one show. Okay. But yeah, I actually, now I'm pretty sure it's on a black mask, because eventually I was able to get a mask. And then that same neck guard, I actually still kept it even once I got a main mask. I always wore that when I was a goalie, because I took like a couple shots to the neck once or twice in my life, whether it be a skate or a puck or whatever, right? So I was like, okay, you gotta wear that thing. But that's kind of how I got into being a Red Wings fan, is because I really like identified with Hasek. Their team was so good, so I really followed along with like Detroit, even though I followed along with the Leafs a lot too. And they won the cup in like 97, 98, so I would have been like 10, 9, 10. And so, 3-4 years into playing hockey, like really serious about playing goalie. And I'm pretty sure like a year or two previous, my mom had like just put up the Toronto Maple Leafs, like that old banner you could get in the 90s.
Yeah. Around your room. I had a penguin one. What were those called?
I feel like
the wallpaper. Yeah.
We're just talking about it again, maybe, but
we definitely talked about this. I don't know if it was on a space or on. We for sure talked about this.
But it was up on the wall, and so then my mom's like, no, like you're a Leafs fan. Like I just put the wallpaper up, and I'm like, no, like I'm a Red. And so like even through my whole Red Wings, I think to this day, because like my stepdad still owns the house, I'm pretty sure the Leafs banner is still up 30 years later. That's still what's around there. Like I would have put Red Wings posters and pennants that are like no longer up anymore. But that's how I really got into it, because then I played hockey like any Canadian kid, right? We had our house league, so we would have had like 3-4 teams in our local town, but then we would have played, like, I guess how you guys just have such a bigger population in that area, we would have played all the local towns, right? So like anything within like 2-3 hours, like we would take the bus and travel to the next town and go. And
that would still be your house league though?
Yeah, 100%. Like house league.
Really? Like, okay, so that's where it's different. Yeah,
the bus, like it would be parents still.
Sure.
In house league, but like 100%, like we're going to the next town, whether it's half hour away or 2 hours away, kind of everything within that like 2-hour bubble is kind of your league, probably 16, 17 teams, because a lot of those small towns would just have like one team, right? So like Rob,
that's a great point.
And then we would have like 3-4 teams, and we'd kind of be that central little hub of that's kind of our league in Saskatchewan, right? So all those that's just how all the little towns could have their own team, right? Because then they'd have kind of their own team, and most little Canadian towns would have a hockey team, right? Of like every age group, basically. So then all the little towns would play each other, which also made like, a lot of like when you're getting into high school, like going there and just fighting each other on the weekend.
Rivalries like crazy, I'm sure.
Crazy small town rivalries because of just a lot of stuff like that, but also a lot of fun. And so like I would have played house league always, right? And then I think it was like Adam. So geez, Adam's we're only like 11 or 12, I think, when you started Atom hockey. And that's when you started to have like AA leagues is in Atom. They would have AA, and then after that you started to have AA, AAA kind of thing. And
you're saying in Atom, what do you mean by that? Is that a town?
So,
is that a
like,
a league?
Yeah, like, so I don't know what you guys would call it, but we would have like pre-novice, which would be like 5-6, novice, which is like 7-8, Atom, which was probably 9-10.
Yeah, so ours is
11-12, midget, or sorry, bantam, which is like 12-13, midget, 15-16, and then you kind of, that's where I think that's around what the age.
So that's exactly what ours was, except we started with mini mite, squirt, same as Atom,
yeah,
and then Pee-wee, bantam, midget, and midget I think went to 18.
Yeah, so in Atom, so I don't know what you guys had, but so like, and it's so like looking at hockey now, it's so different, right? But like, so when we started Atom AA, we would have been, I don't know, 9 or 10, whatever age group I just said. Like, so that's when full contact started.
Yep.
So like we could
squirt,
crush people. Like I don't even think you can hit in like midget nowadays at all, right? Like I don't
really.
Even,
I remember. Did you guys have the stop signs on your back? Did they they stowed the stop signs on your back to stop from back checking? Like, who the hell did that? Who else was like, stop?
I mean, I think it was probably helpful because a lot of kids got crushed. But
I don't know. I remember it just being a big joke.
Oh yeah, no, I think it probably helped a little bit, even though it was a joke. I'm sure it like did make some kids think a little bit. But yeah, no, I think going through those leagues, there was like, it's so different now because like now I don't think you're hitting till you're like 15, 16 AAA. Like you're not even hitting in house league at all almost anymore. So it's crazy to remind, like, 100% kids aren't at all. I don't think, no, barely.
I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out when I get to that late age. But I do agree, and I think that it's definitely changing. And I'm going to tell you what, I get it. With CTE is kind of crazy. They don't let kids head the ball in soccer anymore until 12 or 13 or 12. I think they don't let the kids like do headers anymore. So yeah, whatever. Now for a professional, right? We're not gonna allow that. But for kids, I get it. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So you kind of hit on, So after Atom, after traveling, how long did you play goalie? Did you play out at all during this time, or were you just strictly a goalie?
I would play out like once in a blue moon. I would maybe like play out if I needed to or something. If we were like short some players and say the backup goalie was playing, I would play out once in a while sometimes. But mostly just pretty well always played goalie. I didn't play a lot of out at all. I was always usually for the most part the goalie. Even when I was playing AA, most years. Usually I was like the backup goalie one year because there would be like the vet from the year before. When I was playing AA, like most of my time when I was playing with like the Yorkton, I guess back then it would have been like the Harvest or the Maulers and then like the Terriers or whatever they called them back in the day. But when we would play most of the time, usually if I was AA, first year I was usually backup most of the time. I would sometimes play out a little bit, but I wasn't that great at it. And then the second year I was almost always a starting goalie. And then as time went on, I don't know, I had some trouble with stuff at home. And then I kind of got into skateboarding and ended up having like a really bad injury, which was just kind of a fluke accident, breaking my ankle one year and that like really bad and having to get surgery and like re-piece together my ankle and stretch out some ligaments, and I couldn't play hockey that year. And then I just like kind of went into a bit of a downward spiral. I was probably like 16, 17, kind of quit playing hockey. Like I was really good. I was just starting to play like AAA. Like the SJHL team was having me like up playing like practices with them and like grooming me to be playing with them like the next year when I was of age. And I was like on track to go somewhere probably, right? And just a young kid, I look back on it and I'm like, as a kid, I was probably like, I'm just going to party and chase women and blah, blah. And then one day you wake up and realize like, oh, there would have been way more women if I kept playing hockey.
Yeah, for sure.
But, what do you do, right? But just that's kind of how it was for me. But I've always just stayed loyal to the Wings. Everybody now is like, oh, the Wings suck. Isn't it the worst? And I'm like, well, I got 25 years of like pure glory. The Wings kind of like got the bad end of the stick, in my opinion, because just like, it's never really happened to any team as long as I've been watching hockey that much where you lose like your 3-star players for absolutely nothing, just kind of a bad, just the way it all shook down when they lost Zetterberg and Datsuk and Kronwall, right? Like Datsuk decided to go back to Russia, and they kind of like let him go. Where most teams, when those guys are going out, usually they'll get some kind of like playoff deal. At one point, they'll get a second, third, or first or something. That player will go to a team. They'll go on a playoff run, and then they'll retire. Like that almost always happens, especially with star players of that caliber. And so for Detroit, like Datsuk gone, and then Kronwall couldn't come back because of injury, and same with Zetterberg. Like Zetterberg's back, and basically both top 3, literally captain, assistant, all having to basically retire or leave the league within a year for nothing, where like that would have been to most other teams a first, the second probably, and some crazy draft capital. So Detroit kind of just all of a sudden had no team and didn't really get the picks or the capital that a lot of teams would get in that situation. So for me, maybe that's just me as a fan, like finding an excuse for it, but I don't really think it is an excuse. I think it's an anomaly that most people who aren't a Red Wings fan don't realize, but that happened.
But before that, they made the playoffs for like 20 straight years. They were they were
the epitome of
they were the New York Yankees. You know what I mean? It was
the longest run of ever, like of any sport.
Yeah. So the Penguins just missed this past year, but I think they were like 18 straight years, and then missed this year. But so back to Detroit. Yeah, it was the Datsuk. Just watching that guy, his penalty shots. I mean, it just made it so easy. He wasn't super flashy. He was just. I mean, maybe that is flashy. Maybe it was.
Datsuk was a little flashy, but like he was so. Yeah. It just came natural to him. Right?
Exactly. It didn't look crazy like the flashy guys today. It was just.
I got the Datsuk one upstairs. It's not down.
Just so impressive. I
got so many Red Wings jerseys that I can't even fit them in the cases. I got more hanging upstairs even. I think I probably got like 13.
In 2009 or 2008, Pittsburgh played. I need to quit mumbling. Pittsburgh played Detroit in the Stanley Cup final, and Detroit beat them in 6 games. But it was like It was a Detroit owned them. It shouldn't even have been 6 games. It was Crosby's like second playoffs. He hadn't been in the league that long. And
when 07?
No, 08. They beat us. You guys beat us in 08, and it was just like such a strong Detroit team. And it was so funny because that was the year Hossa got traded to us at the deadline from Atlanta. Miriam Hossa came to us at the deadline from Atlanta, and you guys just mopped the floor with us in the Cup. And then, rarely does it happen, but in 09, we played in the Cup the next year. And I still think that, I'm a Penguin fan, watched it. I was in Korea at the time, actually. I still think Detroit was the better team, but Pittsburgh found a way to win. And it was funny because Hossa.
I was hoping we were going to go back to back again, like when I was young.
Yeah. But the funny part was that Miriam Hossa had finished his contract out with Pittsburgh, went to Detroit, and then lost with Detroit. And it was like, oh man, Hossa is just this bad luck machine. Well, come to find out a couple years later, he gets down to Chicago and wins a whole bunch of cups, man. Good. I was super happy for him, man. That's, you got to love sports. You got to love seeing that story happen. And he goes to Pittsburgh, loses the Cup, goes to Detroit, loses the Cup the next year, then gets to Chicago and it's a winner. Kind of the Corey Perry story, man. Corey Perry can't win a Cup anywhere.
We'll have to get into, I think, a little more of that there next week. And then one thing I just wanted to touch on too is, say this week going into fantasy hockey. I know we want to touch on baseball a little bit and then probably wrap this thing up in a few minutes. But
yeah, that's fine.
A play for me this week was Arizona guys. Early in the week, wrapping up the week, you try to find some guys that are playing 2 games in a back-to-back if there is any, and then some guys for your Sunday, like I was saying. But for next week, it's teams that I'm looking at. I'm just looking down at my little cheat board here. But a team I'd be eyeballing is probably Buffalo. They're playing 2 games early on Monday, Tuesday, so you can kind of target them, get a couple guys early, swap them out. Again, man games to me is a way to win hockey. So if you're already got your team drafted, you're already playing like most guys are, I'd just be searching those teams up. I know, like I say, Daily Faceoff's got a pretty good interface. It'll just tell you exactly how many games each team has. It's a nice little user interface you can use. And it's something to scout out for sure, and then get all the stats and get the guys playing the most man games. But obviously World Series is rolling, and I don't know how the games went today there. I should look into that. But I know I was watching the game yesterday, and it was good to see I thought the Rangers and the Astros. Rangers were up 2-0, and I was watching the game yesterday. Houston kind of put on a bit of a performance. I'm not big into baseball, but I know Scherzer's a dog, and he got lit up pretty early by the Astros.
But so Scherzer's been out though. So Scherzer's been out. That he just came back. They were like, I don't know if we're going to start him, and they did start him coming back from injury, and it happens. Scherzer's a beast, like you said. But it is what it is. Right now, it's 2-2. Texas was up 2-0. Now Houston ties it up 2-2. Going to be interesting. So Texas is in Arlington, which is right next to Dallas. So got a lot of Texas fans here at my daughter's volleyball game today. There are a bunch of dads like on their phones watching the baseball game at the same time. So it's kind of cool. You just got to love sports. You got to love the playoffs. Right now it's the league championship series. This is for the pennant. This is for the NL pennant, for the AL pennant. We'll see what happens. But it's Philly and why am I drawing a blank? The Arizona Diamondbacks in the NL.
Yeah, and Diamondbacks got the win today, 2-1.
Did they? So yeah, 2-1. Yeah.
It was kind of the opposite. Like Astros, these last two games have put on 18 runs in 2 games, right? And Diamondbacks, they were kind of getting lit up. Where Philly put on a close game. The first one, I think they won 5-3. That's what it is, 5-3, and then shut them out 10-zip in the next game, which was just filthy. But kind of reversal. Diamondbacks got one, making it a series. So see what happens in the next game. I think tomorrow both teams are playing again, so we'll see if Diamondbacks can pull even, and then we'll see what happens with the Astros Rangers playing the last game in the Rangers home stadium, and then they'll be for sure going back for a game 6 and see where that takes them.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. So I gotta like mess with my screen and my camera because I always feel like when I'm looking at you talking to me, I'm not looking at the screen anymore. Like
I've been trying more to stare at my camera instead of you because I don't know what the viewers need, or I don't know how people do it, or how if you're just supposed to ignore each other. Like I guess you don't know I'm looking at you. It probably looks to you more like I'm looking at you if I look at my camera, but like I'm still drawn to look at you, right? You know.
Exactly.
What we need to do is I need to get the other camera running, and I need to put it in front of your face so that when I want to look at you, I'm looking at the camera maybe.
That's a good move. That's a good move. I was doing that. I
wonder if I'll be going like this, trying to look around my cameras.
The other day I had my phone. I don't know if it was you I was with or whoever, but I had my phone shining a flashlight in my face because I didn't have like a ring light, and I had it like blocking my face. So it kind of worked out. I couldn't look at my face, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it out. I think you need to swap it. I think if I'm on the left side and you're on the right side, then I will be looking at you.
Yeah, I don't know. They can
on my
figure
screen.
in the middle, so it's probably the closest that it can get.
Yeah. So for me, it's the opposite. For me, I'm in the middle. So if I'm looking at myself, it looks like I'm looking straight. But if I'm looking at you, I'm crooked. So you're just screwing me over.
You just got to grab your thing and you got to angle your camera.
I do. But hey, man.
Webcam. Hey. Who's going to the final? Let's call it.
Oh, okay.
Going to the series and who's taking it and who, what, why.
I'm going Philly. Heartbreaking Philly last year. They've learned their lesson. They're coming back. So they lost last year in the final. So this year, I'm thinking they're coming back. They're gonna bring it home, baby. Philly.
And they're gonna go all the way, take the World Series.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like the Rangers too. I'd like the Texas Rangers too, just because this is where I'm at. I'd like to see a parade. Might be fun to go check out. Not a huge Rangers fan, but I am a huge Bruce Bochy fan. My wife's from Northern California. She's huge fan of the Giants. I'm a fan of the Giants because she is. So Bruce Bochy was their manager for many, many years. They won 3 World Series under Bruce. He is now the Rangers manager. So if the Rangers win, I would be stoked. My prediction, though, is the Phillies take it.
Phillies over the Rangers in the World Series. I'm going.
Could happen.
I'm thinking the Phillies are for sure running through. I think Arizona is not going to. I don't think they're got much. I mean, they won, but I think Philly will run through them. Astros, Altuve, the boys are buzzing. I think they're going to keep buzzing, and I'm going to give Astros and Astros Phillies I kind of want to go with the Phillies. Harper's going to be magical. I think I got to stick with you on that. But do I go against you just to go opposite? Like, because I don't care.
No, let's go the same. Let's let's root for a team together.
What did we say? Oh yeah, in football, if the teams we pick go to the final, then we have to go to the game. That's right.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna somebody's gonna have to
an hour and a half. That's the longest we've ever ran the show, but it was running smooth. There's some good banter. I enjoyed it. We got all stuff. We started sloppy, and I say we cleaned it up nice. We got through the football, a little good hockey banter, touch on a little baseball. For anybody who wants some actual fantasy lineup advice, you can tune in out with us Sunday morning. I run that about an hour and a half before kickoff on Sundays and give you any lineup advice, tell you who's in and out, and get all that rolling. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Tell a friend, bring a friend. You can come talk to me and this beautiful human live. You can't see our faces, so way she goes, but you can hear our beautiful voices. Come ask us any questions. And one day we'll have the technology to do it all live. You?
Okay, I'm in, man. I'm chilling. I appreciate you having me on today. I know it was going to be a little late, but I made it here. Big shout out to my wife. Hopefully she hears me saying this because she knows that this is something that I really like to do. I really want to do. And today we were heading home from the volleyball game, and she was like, "Hey, you can go. You can go." And so she took the kids to get some snacks, and I'm distracted by your heart. And she let me come home, set up, and jump on this live stream. So shout out to her. Shout out to my sassy fam.
Down for a game.
Love y'all.
I'll take her for supper with you, for letting you hang out with me every Thursday.
Yeah, for sure. You should. And so volleyball season's over for my daughter. We'll see if she makes the middle school basketball team. I don't know if those are on Thursdays too. So we'll find out. But for the next few Thursdays, I'll be here on time, ready to chat.
Well, and if you are, we might want to maybe start kicking off half hour early if it's possible, because I feel like if we could, we're just trying to we're grow it here. But one thing I've always thought is we usually kick off about a little into the third. If we were able to kick off on halftime, I think we have a chance to grab those halftime scrollers' boredom attention, perhaps.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of viewership. We might be something we have to talk about on the back end. We're just always trying to figure out how to grow this Bushleague Sports ordeal here. And shouts to you. Shouts to Shredding Sassy for being an unreal community and partaker in this, along with all the other communities that are sitting in that league. I know we touched on it a little earlier there. And obviously stoked to have that, see where everybody goes in week 6 on that leaderboard. Also, for anybody who doesn't know, we got a free DFS league in our Discord. If you hop in there, just come to our website, hit the join now button. It'll throw you right into Discord. We'll have a link going up every week. You can play a free weekly DraftKings league, and you'll be able to win all kinds of different prizes, partner mints, fitness memberships, all kinds of different stuff throughout the year. So make sure you come check that out. I'll be stoked to have everybody there. I don't know if you got anything going on with Sassy or not.
So I don't. I do want to give one more shout out though. Karaoke Phase 101. He sent me a karaoke the other day, and I haven't got to tweet about it yet. I haven't got to do anything, but just such a great dude. He won some of these. He won some of these gummies.
Nice. Go ahead. Let's check them out.
So we had our anniversary
giveaway on Friday 13th.
Yeah, we had the Friday the 13th space. Do you need some?
Yeah, when I come down and visit, make sure you got a whole bunch for me.
All right. Sounds good. So during the Friday the 13th space, Phase 101 won some of these Wrecked Eddie's Delta 9 gummies. And he didn't want them. And I ended up sending him a chest instead. I think he already gets them. So he gave them on to the next person. Really kind guy. So I sent him the Sassy mystery chest, and he sent me a karaoke in its place. So I definitely got to link up with him and see what we can do, see what we can collab on between him and Sassy. And I never would have met him. I never would have had the opportunity to do that. He never would have been in that space if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for the Bush League, if it wasn't for the Friends Fantasy Show, the the things that we're doing. So really cool. This brought us together, and I appreciate
that. And it's cool to hear that it's, bringing people together. That's kind of my whole goal is to bring kind of like-minded people in all these projects together through something that I think we can use to, grow our projects and grow the respect for NFTs and that type of memberships to a new world through fantasy sports, through a fellow group of degenerates. A lot of us Web3 people are somewhat just degenerates, and fantasy sports people are literally hand in hand. And at the end of the day, I don't want people gambling on their NFTs. I want them to be accesses and tokens and way to get redemption, savings, same thing you guys are doing. But let's have a little fun with fantasy, and I appreciate you guys playing along with us and using it. And again, with Kuroki, they're kind of your competition there, and I know
they're catching us. They're catching us.
They had one team that hasn't been participating, hasn't been setting his lineups. Cooper Kupp on IR still. Mostert hasn't been in, even though he's been getting 30 points a week. And so that guy that hasn't been there, we gave him a boot. So again, shouts to Kuroki and FaZe and our buddy Mike Rip. He's a big fantasy sports guy on X. If he's watching, or maybe we'll clip it, we'll give him a shout out. But Mike Rip, he's coming in, he's filling in. So that's the first boot from the Bush League. It's starting to happen. I told you people we're going to get, we ain't taking no more slack around the Bush League. If you ain't there, there's people that want to play. You're going to be gone, and we're going to keep it moving. So Mike is the first guy. He's coming in with Team Kuroki. So that's going to give them a nice boost. They're going to go from a team that's getting 30 points a week because they ain't setting their lineup. That's probably going to give them a nice 100-point fantasy boost. Mike will probably get a little involved in what we're doing on socials, and that'll be a big boost for him. So we're going to have a big fight at top 3, but we're going to start unleashing some things in the second half of the season for some of these other teams to be able to bring in some big fab. We're going to try to get the Alien Friends account or Gary V or some people that tweet. We might give a couple thousand points. There might be some ways to make it a hot race at the end of it all. But so far, it's been a fun competition. But I hate to see the Bush League run away with it. I don't want to win my own league. The first year, people be like, "That's just rigged. We ain't playing no more." So someone's got to get moving. Let's go. Get going.
All right. Hey, note taking, Sassies. Let's do it.
Right on. Well, I don't know if there's anything else you got, but I appreciate you. I appreciate doing this every week, and I'm stoked to hopefully be doing it again with you next Thursday. And
hey. Next Thursday, I'll be coming in from a new location. So
right. Holidays, Hawaii, is it?
Not on holiday. I'm there all business, buddy. I'll be there. So we'll make it work, man. I'll have a different background behind me. No sassies. Maybe I should bring some sassies to put behind me. Maybe I'll just
what are we playing out with? We playing out with a little whiz, little half step, and we playing out with a little EDM. What do we plan us out with here tonight? You got
to go Wiz. Go Wiz. Go Black and Yellow.
Oh, we don't own the rights to that, my man. We own the rights to some other tunes, our very own half step and Snoop and Wiz. We can play that one on the way out. Shouts to
perfect. Let's go.
NFTs, but we ain't rich enough. Maybe one day the goal to you MFers retweet this, tag Snoop. Let's get this moving, okay? Because we're always using Snoop NFT tracks. We're always using the Death Row mixtape track. So we need all the MFers out there retweeting that. So then one day Snoop will be like, "Boys, TKB, sleep. You guys can just use gin and juice. This is your tune. You guys have been buzzing. You guys have been promoting gin and juice. It's yours."
Love it. All right, sir. Hey, well, thank you very much, and I'll see you next Thursday.
Love you, bro. Take care. Catch you next week. Love chatting sports with you. For everybody that tuned in, I appreciate you. Make sure you guys like, share. For on YouTube, please subscribe. I think we're at 19. Let's break 20. Let's get it moving. I'm stoked to do this with you guys every week, whether you're on X, Facebook, wherever. I love it. Talking sports is something I'm just so passionate and joyful about. I really appreciate doing this every week, and I can't wait to come back again next week and do it again with you. Until next time, stay Bush League, you beauties.
From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. Tell them never question, dog, I'm sitting ghost status. Eating chicken with my gin, smoking on some cabbage. Used to pedal on that swing with my fro out. Whole lot of bunnies flocking to me when I roll out. I've been rolling on dubs, coin collecting, keep it sonic blue. Blue rags and house shoes, they know how the dog do. Skinny nigga, heavy pockets, the West OG. Can't a nigga cross the globe say they don't know me. Been applying pressure from 8 to 24 like Kobe. Mr. Hall of Fame used to bend the corners with Stroley. Had to lay the blueprint, they rolled out the carpet. Anything I wanna own, I got my own market. Blue this, blue that, everything beautiful. Still ain't sold my guns and I still ain't had to use them though. Was once a hard head, now I'm counting blessings. I made my own way, still they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach and it ain't no half repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach and it ain't no half repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. I can't name a thing that I didn't have stepping. From the streets